Now then, people, it's Joe, it's All Leeds TV, and it is time for a new video. We've come to the decision that what we're going to do moving forward is do a post-match reaction with you, the fans of the channel, with fans of Leeds United, of course. So, yeah, moving forward, that's going to be the plan. Just give an opportunity for people to get their opinions and their thoughts across on the channel and what they thought on the last previous game and any current goings on at Leeds United at the time. So, yeah, tonight I welcome Rhiannon. Rhiannon's back. She's been with us before. How are you, Rhiannon? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Really good after yesterday. Performance not great, but we got 3 points. That's all that matters. We've got Aaron, who pops up now and again on LS11. How are you, my man? All right?
Yeah, good, buddy. Are you?
Yeah, good. And we've got John all the way from America. From America.
Honored again with the voice of the people himself, Joe Wayman.
Is that what it is? I'll take that, mate. I'll take that. But yeah, John, you this is what I'm saying, people that are watching the video, please smash a like on the video as well. John emailed yesterday, within 24 hours he's on the channel. So if you want to get involved, it really is that simple. Like I say, you just send a message and we'll get you on and you can have your thoughts, aired on the channel and what your thoughts were on the game. But we asked who wants to kick us off, and Rhiannon gladly said, yeah, I'll kick us off. She nominated herself. But yeah, Rhiannon, what are your thoughts yesterday on the game?
Well, I thought the first half was pretty decent. I thought we came out the blocks quite well. And I thought, okay, this is Leeds United we're used to. But then I don't know what happened. I think it was around, as soon as it got to half time, I was just like, oh God, which Leeds United is going to come out in the second half? Because we've all seen it, haven't we? Like, we're out of the blocks and then we just turn to mush, like we just fall apart. And I was thinking, oh God, here we go, another 45 minutes. Let's just hope we keep this momentum. And it just fell apart, didn't it? I mean, I think it was after their equaliser, it just... literally, we just mentally just went. Was it Shah that just went straight down the midfield, unchallenged? And I was just like, I was screaming at the telly saying, someone put a challenge in. And then we nearly scored. And I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
So I was literally like on tenterhooks for like the last sort of half an hour, thinking, oh God, let's hope we see this through.
Yeah.
But what a goal from Jack Harrison, like. I mean, obviously we know he's got that in his locker, but did not expect that at all.
Yeah, it was a great goal. What do you think? Rhiannon, what do you put it down to, these lapses, as it were? And it was a bit like the Burnley game. We come out a totally different team second half, and Newcastle were massively in the ascendancy at points during the second half.
I honestly don't know. I mean, I think it's a mental thing. I don't think it's a physical fitness thing, because we do know, like, we are one of the fittest teams in the Premier League, and we've shown it. Like, I don't get it. Like, we show bursts of it, like the Villa game, West Brom game, and sometimes first half of individual games, but. I really don't know why it's so hit and miss. I mean, all I can think is like it's a mental thing, and need to sort themselves out, because they need to pick up a bit. Like, with these games coming up, I mean, we've got
We've got Leicester up on Sunday, and then Everton next.
Like, I've already ruled Leicester out. Like, completely scraped it off. Like, don't see us winning anything. Everton, hit and miss, maybe nick draw, but I don't know. It's kind of writing this weekend off.
Oh, you're already writing us off for some reason.
Yeah, I'm already writing off as a loss. Yeah.
At least if we get something.
I'm usually very optimistic, but I'm completely writing it off, because even with Vardy's out, isn't it? Even with Vardy out, they've just got the depth, haven't they? So I think a key thing, especially if they play like as they did in that second half. Yeah, we're going to get mauled.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. And I think it's a bit of a free hit is the Leicester game. going to have some Leicester fans on the channel tomorrow, and we'll have a little chat about them. But it's a good point you make about Vardy. But I speak with a Leicester fan regularly, and their last 13 goals that they've scored in the league, Vardy hasn't been involved in any of them, either scoring or an assist. So I get on paper it's a massive plus that he's not in the side, but he's actually not been involved in a lot of the goals of late, which is quite surprising when you look at it like that. But Aaron, what were your thoughts yesterday, mate, on the game as a whole?
It were a well-earned, hard 3 points earned, in my opinion, especially in the second half. St. Maximin, what a beast of a player is. You know, he was so hard. We two of them at one point on him just to kind of control him and keep him under control. So I think on the whole, it's definitely 3 points gained. I think we could have easily drawn the game, but we stuck in there. We grafted. And I'm just really pleased that we've stopped the rot that we're on, if I'm being honest, mate, because, you know, we needed to change it. And Newcastle, in the second half, I'll give them credit. They played well in the second half, and they probably should have taken something from it. And that's a little bit of credit there, even though I'm glad that we got the 3 points.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I think the frustrating thing for me, and I don't know if you agree, John, is the fact that with Newcastle, I mean, they hadn't won in 10 games. They hadn't scored a goal from open play for 10 games. The last time they did was against Leeds United, which is always seems to be the case, doesn't it? But yeah, I think maybe we made them look good. Although, if I'm a Newcastle fan, I probably am a little bit enthused by it because I thought they were pretty decent. And St. Maximin was good, Almiron was good. But what were your thoughts yesterday, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rhiannon hit the nail on the head that the midfield is a bit concerning. Like, I don't think Click really made the impact that I expected him to when he came on. You know, he had 10 days of rest. We've been hearing about how tired he is for a while. Came in on 10 days of rest and still kind of looked tired to me. So I think the midfield is a point of concern right now. But thinking big picture, I'm definitely overall a lot more positive than negative. I mean, just contrasting us with Newcastle right now, like Newcastle are almost like a what we could have been if we didn't have Bielsa, right? If we just had like an Allardyce or Bruce or Mark Hughes or any of the generic like replaceable managers. And it's just, we're so blessed to not be in that position and that we are building for something. Newcastle, if they don't go down this year, they'll go down next year, right? But we're actually building for something great. And to me, being able to see the two sides, that we are creating something better than they are, is just such a beautiful thing that I can't lose sight of that positive.
Yeah, massive. I agree with you, mate. I agree. It's mad because this is what I mean. I think we have to look at it in context. Like, people are maybe forgetting that, not Leeds fans, but those on the outside looking in, that we're a newly promoted side, man, and we're absolutely smashing it out of the park. You know, 8 wins, 26 points, 12th in the league, and you've got teams that have been up there year after year, and they're not really going anywhere. So for us to be able to attack the league the way we have, and you know, I genuinely believe in a couple of seasons I think we will be knocking on that door of Europe. I do. But McAllister, Wi-Fi issues sorted, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can, mate. We can. What were your thoughts yesterday, Mama?
Hard-fought victory, like we've already said, to be honest. But I think it's those kind of wins that we're going to take through at the end of the season and look back and go, you know what? I'm glad we nailed that win and got the 3 points, because they're most important. I mean, we can look at Leicester and go, yeah, we got spanked last time. We got spanked by loads of teams. So what difference does it make? Let's just go at them. We'll play our style again. Yeah, we might lose 5-2, but I might win the next game. So, you know, it's all about having a bit of confidence and going into these games thinking we can nick something from these lot, because nobody's untouchable in this league. Not this season, anyway. I've seen that much from Liverpool, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. We've got to... I think we will get a result against one of the top 6 sides soon enough. I do. And, you know, we pushed Liverpool all the way. We got a point against City. Why not? Let's go for it against Leicester. But I think the good thing that we have as an attitude is if we do get beat, we get beat. We're okay with it. You know, it is what it is. It's expected. Guys, there's over 100 people watching in the chat. We've only got 32 likes. So if you could all smash a like on the video, that would be greatly appreciated, as I always say it. If I don't ask, I don't get. So, yeah, please do smash a like on the video. Rhiannon, what did you make to Rafinha yesterday? I thought he was absolutely exceptional yesterday. Such a good talent.
Yeah, I think he's one of like our best players, if not the best player on the pitch. Like, he was insane. I mean, just the way he was just going up and down that right side and then just cutting in. and scoring that goal. I mean, you saw him screaming at Rodrigo, didn't you? Like thinking, "Give me the ball!" before he scored. I just think he's just insane, and I can't believe we got him for 17 million.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It is.
Bargain.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, arguably the signing of the summer. But what were the rest of the guys' thoughts on Rafinha? Does anyone want to take it?
I think that between them two and Rodrigo in particular, them two are linking up really well for me. And I think as months and maybe next year, I think we'll really see that shine because I think their link-up play is potentially could be really good.
Yeah, and the player stats yesterday, player ratings yesterday, where you mentioned him and everybody's face lit up. Like, imagine everybody watching at home, like our faces all light up simultaneously when you just mentioned the man's name. And then it all. I mean, it's almost a cliche at this point that he's someone you pay money to see, but it really is true. And considering that him and Rodrigo are, again, our only real premier quality, like definitely premiership quality players, like without question, and maybe KP, maybe Ayling, maybe Melier, but they're all debatable. There's no debate about Rafinha. He is.
Yeah, no, he is. He's an exceptional talent, isn't he, McAllister?
I mean, I called him the Brazilian baller yesterday, but I think he's a lot more than that. Everything he does, it's like he's got the Midas touch. He can turn nothing into something, and he's just
water
got
into wine. Water into wine.
Yeah, he's got the passing, he's got the shooting, he's got it all, man. And like for 18 million plus add-ons, 21 million, something like that. I mean, you look at other players people have signed. Kai Havertz. That was a lot of money, and have done absolutely naff all season. Fingers crossed. But yeah, absolute bargain, mate. And we'll struggle to keep hold of him, but I hope we do forever. Him and Marcelo forever.
Yeah. Do you think there's any worry? Because I've seen a few people mention it. Do you think there's any worry that people might come sniffing this summer?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was going to play in Champions League football at Rennes. He's clearly a Champions League quality player and a top 6 quality player. He could fit into a lot of those teams quite well. But I'm hoping that if that happens, he's got a big, hefty release clause of a lot of money. So even if somebody did persistently want him, we're going to get money back for him to replace him at least. But I don't think he'll go. I get
the sense that he wants to stay too. Maybe not forever, but like he doesn't seem like someone who's immediately going to try to get to that next bigger club. He just seems to like it here, and so it's really encouraging.
I agree with you because I just before you, sorry, Rhiannon, I don't see him making the move to Leeds because surely we didn't have an expectation of getting European football after our first season, and he knows that surely. So I can't see him.
I said I think it's down to Bielsa, isn't it? Like I think if Bielsa stays on for next season, I think Rafa will stay for next season. I think because I mean, obviously, I don't think Rodrigo will go like Rafa probably will go, but like they've all bought into like his philosophy. I think as long as Bielsa sticks around, then I can't see Rafa going anywhere.
No, I'd have to agree.
Rad and this project, and I can only see Leeds going up and up and up and up. But I don't see us going down anytime soon. So
yeah. Obviously, we've seen after the game as well. There was stuff coming out about Rodrigo and his altercation between Shah, and I think we all as Leeds fans were worried that we had another Samu Saiz episode on our hands. I was thinking, please no, let this not be true. But thankfully, Aaron, it wasn't the case. To be honest, I thought doing the watch along, I found the altercation quite funny. How Rodrigo hit the deck and he was just laughing at him and winding him up, But I thought Rodrigo had a good game yesterday as well.
Yeah, he played well, and I think BT would have probably picked it up if he'd have done something. They'd have probably picked up on it straight away. These Ultra 15K, whatever it is, cameras that they've got now. I wasn't too concerned. But Rodrigo, again, I think he played well. A great game for us. And I think, it's one that he's going to get better and better, I think, as the season goes on and definitely into next year. We look at the majority of the players in Leeds at the moment, look at Click in particular. He really shined, didn't he, in Bielsa's second season. So I think Rodrigo could probably do the same.
Yeah. What about you, John?
So, I mean, I definitely agree he was taking the piss. Like, he just got a black. And I think part of it was that I don't know how to say the guy's name. Cher? Is that how you say it?
Share.
Shah.
Yeah. We'll go with Share. Do you believe?
Because I don't really like him, and it seems like a degrading name to call him. So it's all that. I think Rodrigo, I don't know if I'm giving him too much credit, but I think he realized that he was just having too much joy in the middle of the park. And so kind of trying to like mess with his mind a little bit. And that's the type of shithousery that we really appreciate. So
Yeah. I thought it was good. Let's have a chat about Bamford, guys. I want to know what your thoughts are on Bamford. Obviously, we did the player ratings yesterday. We rated him pretty low, 5-6. I think we were chatting about. It seems to have gone off the boil a little bit for me. His link-up play doesn't seem to be quite there. The balls aren't really sticking to him, and he hasn't been great. Who wants to take Bamford?
I'll go Bamford. Well, I like Bamford. I actually worked on
straight to the defence. I like Bamford.
I actually worked on one of Lord Bamford's estates doing some electrical installation. So I didn't get anything out of it, but it was a beautiful place. But yeah, no, I think Bamford he's like a punching bag of the club. Unfortunately, I think when times are hard, when things aren't going well, you always look to that number 9, the striker. He's the guy who scores your goals. That's what everybody's mentality is. But Bamford, I mean, you look at Firmino at Liverpool as well. Everyone going, "Oh, he's rubbish. He doesn't score enough goals." This, that, and the other, giving him flack. But actually, if you look at his link-up play, I mean, I know he said for the first goal he had a bit of a deft touch and was kind of involved in it, mostly Rodrigo, but. Yeah. For what he's done for us, I know we can't always go on sentiment, but the guy's got 10 goals already this season, and he only scored 15 or something in the Championship last season, and this is the Premier League now. How much did he cost? 7 million or something? Yeah. I think you'll struggle to find somebody in the future who's going to be a better backup than Bamford to have on the bench, but for now, I think he'll do, and he's just a streaky player.
What did you think to his performance yesterday, McAllister?
I don't think he had... too much service, to be honest. I think it's turning into a little bit of the Rodrigo, Rafinha, Harrison show now, the wingers show, which is Bielsa's favourite position. I think is wingers, favourite player. Sorry, shall I say? And Bamford's sort of off the cuff of that a little bit. Maybe it's because he's not Spanish or has got a fancy haircut. I don't know, but. He seems to look a little bit left out of that little group now. I'm not sure if it's anything to do with the players, I doubt it. But there's a bit of quality, but he'll come through again. We'll get another hat-trick against somebody out of nowhere, and we'll all love him again. So
yeah. Do you think does anyone disagree with McAllister in terms of yesterday? Yeah, John, go on. I've seen you. Go on, mate.
If anything, I was like upset that Tyler Roberts played as well as he did, because it means that they are less likely to bring in someone to compete with Bamford. I do agree that Bamford's done a lot, and you can't question his work rate. But if we are going to take that extra step, like, I think it's undeniable we need another number 9. I don't think it's going to happen in January, but I think in this summer it's like priority number 1. Not necessarily to take his spot, but at least to give him that competition. As far as yesterday, I actually don't think he was as piss poor as some people may have said. I actually agree with McAllister that the service was absent, and I think a lot of the time that people do hate on him, he isn't getting service for a considerable portion of the game, even when we are dominating. But when push comes to shove for me, he just doesn't do well enough with the chances he's given. And I don't think if we're going to really grow and take that next step, I don't think it can be him. So I want a new number 9.
Yeah, I think you're right, John, but I think he's the first person who'll kind of say, yeah, I think behind the scenes he'll say, yeah, I should have probably buried that. I should have done better with that chance. But I think I totally agree with McAllister. His work rate off the ball for me is the shape that we hold and the way we go forward. If we saw a little bit. I was really impressed with Roberts the last couple of games, but before the last couple of games which we've played, and when Bamford goes off, we really lose our shape for me. And he's a key player in this squad, I think, going forwards, turning defence into attack, and he gets in the right places. And yeah, he should be finishing it better, I think. Of course he should, but that's why he's not 60-70 million quid. If he were finishing them and top goal scorer in the Premier League, then it'd be all the top clubs in Europe would probably want him. But I really rate him. I think he's a great player, and he's doing what he needs to do for us. And what's he on now? Is he on 10 goals? 10 goals? Yeah. Should be 11 because the Palace won. So, he's not doing too bad. Double figures at this stage of the season, halfway through. He could easily get to 20.
Yeah, true. Rhiannon, obviously we've seen Tyler Roberts come on and do bits. Do you think I'm maybe playing devil's advocate, I guess, is it too soon to say that maybe he needs a bit of time out of the side? Or am I just being massively too harsh?
No, I mean, I think the best scenario for Tyler would actually to go on loan. I mean, I don't think he's good enough to replace Bamford in like a game, even against Newcastle. Even though he was good, I am a big supporter of Tyler. Like, I think he's got potential, but the Prem just isn't. Well, he's not ready for the Prem yet, and he doesn't give Patrick enough competition in that striker position, and I agree with John. Like, I think there needs to be another number 9 to give Patrick that competition, not necessarily take his place, but just to give him a bit more fire in his belly, a bit more like to actually score them chances and just be a bit more clinical. I mean, I know he's already had 10 goals this season, but like there's so many chances he's just gone missing, haven't they? So, but yeah, I think Tyler should go on loan just to get just down in the Championship somewhere. Probably not Derby, but somewhere else. Someone that's a bit more competitive, like currently in the top 6, like maybe Swansea or Reading. Well, I think is Reading still in the top 6? I don't think they are they?
I stopped watching Championship football when we got promoted.
Like Watford or Bournemouth. Someone that is actually in the top 6 that are still competing to potentially come up to the Premiership next season. So, yeah, I think that would be best for him. I don't think you're overly harsh at all.
Yeah. So, does people agree with that, or I don't know? I think the last 2, I think Tyler's looked okay.
In a vacuum, I would definitely agree he should go on loan. But right now, like, who would be the other number 9? Because it seems that Bielsa really does want to keep Rodrigo playing a bit further back, and I think you want him to be one or the other. Like, either he kind of plays that number 10 role, or like have him be what he is for Spain. But without anyone else, I think we're stuck with Roberts for the rest of the year. And I know I want to be a supporter of him, but I tend to agree that it's just never going to happen for him in the Prem. I hope I'm wrong.
He's still young though, isn't he? He's a young lad, He's still got tons of. So he's got years ahead of him as this lad. But I totally agree. Again, I think for the last 2 performances, I know they've been off the bench, but dare I say, if we were still in the cup, get a run at that, then we'd be able to, see what he's got. But I think he's definitely knocking on the door to really push himself for a start.
Yeah, that was my original question. I think I've worded it incorrectly when I was chatting to Rhiannon. I was thinking, is there a case for Bamford being taken out and Tyler coming in and starting just based on the last 2? I know 2 substitute performances don't warrant a start, but I think for me personally, I think Bamford's been a little bit off it for the last few games, if I'm being honest. Just my opinion. Let's talk about Diego Llorente then. Obviously, 6-7 minutes into the game, he pulls up on a hammy. We've paid a lot of money for him. It's so disappointing. I feel sorry for him from a personal standpoint, because obviously he'll just want to play. He'll want to play games. But what are our thoughts on Llorente, McAllister? Disappointed? I
was absolutely gutted, because he's so good on FIFA. I mean, I was so excited. I was like, I've just totally destroyed Werner in a challenge, and I've gone on and scored a massive header. No, but seriously, absolutely distraught for the fellow, because one, I've seen some fans getting on his back, calling him biscuit legs and all this, and people said it about Roberts, and I think we'll all agree that they don't need that. They just need the support and the time. But having done exactly the same thing at Chelsea now, pulled up, done a muscle or whatever, got an injury within 5 minutes or so, is he fit enough to play in this style, in this side? Or did we not notice something? In the medical, I doubt that very much. Maybe he's just been unlucky and he'll come solid for us in a couple of months. I'm hoping that. But I was desperate to see him play, man, because I just... Not that I don't rate our centre-backs. I love Strike and Cooper. I think they do a good job for us at the minute. But he needs to start playing, because we need to get that solid defence record back up again.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, John?
I just feel like since, I don't know, maybe Kyle Bartley and Pontus, when's the last time we've had two healthy center backs play for like a full month? Like, we are destined to get injuries at that position every season. It's so frustrating. I do feel bad for him, but I'm excited for Struijk. Honestly, like Struijk, he's someone who you see get better and better every game, and I don't think it's the end of the world if it is Koch and Struijk with Cooper as the third. I mean, that's good enough to definitely stay up this year without question. But I mean, it's hard to say. I kind of get a gut feeling we'll never really see Llorente make it for us. That's kind of my gut feeling. I hope that's wrong.
Yeah, I hope you're wrong as well, mate. But yeah, Aaron, I mean, John makes a good point there. He says, you know, Struijk and Koch being our number two. Do you think there's a case that maybe Cooper could come out of the side before this season's done? I think next season his place definitely could be up for grabs, and sentiment has to be taken out of it. I love Liam Cooper as our club captain, but there comes a time where you say, okay, maybe you're not quite there. But do you agree with John that we could see that even before the end of the season, maybe Struijk and Koch playing as the two?
I can't see it this year, if I'm being honest. I think Koch, again, it's decent. You know, I liked the look of him, but he made a couple of mistakes at the beginning of the season. But again, it's taking that time to gel. Yeah. And that's with any defensive partnership. And I think we have been really lucky with, obviously, last year with Ben White and Cooper. They gelled straight away. And obviously, Calvin Phillips sitting in front of them. I think it's just about time and time on the pitch, really. So I can't see anything changing with Cooper. But I'm genuinely gutted for Llorente. I was really looking forward to seeing him play. I actually messaged my bro. I said, you know, I'm really look forward to watching this guy. I think he's going to really help us out at set pieces. He's tall. He's strong in the air. I was looking forward to seeing him, and then he just goes off. But I do feel for the guy. And obviously with the Euros coming up this summer, and it's the Spanish international, isn't he? So hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery, and we'll see him. I said on LS11 a couple of months back, we won't see him until Easter. And I'm probably right there.
Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, like, we're not going to see him for a good few weeks now. Hammies in professional footballers, they do, you know, debilitate them for quite some time. To be fair, you know, and he did look. You could tell as soon as he hit the deck and the way he was holding his leg, it was game over for him. And it's such a shame, wasn't it, Rhiannon? Because like I say, we paid a lot of money for him as well. He's towards the back end of his career, and it'd be such a shame if it didn't quite come off. Do we have another Forshaw, you know?
Well, that's what I said in like another group. I thought, oh God, here we go. We've got another Forshaw. But I really rate Llorente. I mean, like, he was like the bits that because he showed against Chelsea. I mean, even against Newcastle, they were all positive, and it was just a shame that he pulled his hammy again. And I said to I said in one of my group chats that I honestly think it must. I don't think it's personally him. I mean, obviously, I know he's got history of injury. Like at Sociedad, he had about 4, maybe 5 injuries over the season in 2018, over 2019 season. But apart from that, like, didn't Ayling get injured a lot in the first year under Bielsa, and like out players like that? And I just thought, well, is it potentially just him gelling and settling into the Bielsa system? Like, you know, is it bound to happen? I don't know, but I hope that is what it is, and it isn't just something from when he was playing over in Spain. I just feel gutted for him. I just want him to do well, and especially for the money we paid for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as well, like, you could arguably say it. Sorry.
No, sorry. I actually thought it was going to be Koch and Llorente that was going to be our centre-back partnership going forward. But I agree with everyone. Like, Struijk has impressed me so much over the last few games. Like, I honestly think he's going to be our new centre-back. When he covered Phillips at CDM, that is not his position. He was god-awful.
Yeah.
He couldn't string a pass together. But at centre-back, he's much solid, and he's very good defensively. Like, I see him almost doing what what Robin did before he got injured, doing them really late blocks and actually saving us from conceding a few goals. So yeah, I see it as Robin and Detroit going forward.
Yeah. Which is mad, really, isn't it, when you think about your captain? But yeah, it'd be interesting to see when that does happen, and if that does happen, and if Bielsa is happy with that. Maybe I feel that maybe Bielsa does have a little bit of sentiment about him. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think he is a little bit sentimental and might want to keep Cooper. And I think, to be honest, and I love Cooper, I bet if you were to ask the majority of Leeds fans, they'd turn around and say, yeah, start Pascal and Koch straight off the bat. They probably would, if we're being totally honest. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens when, as I say, that time does come for him to move on. But I'm just trying to think yesterday of any other key points we needed to pick up on. Obviously, the Harrison goal. Let's talk about the goal itself, John. The first goal that we scored, the lovely cutback from Rodrigo into Rafinha. It was a nice goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm glad you highlighted the cutback. Over the offseason, I got into an argument with a friend who was insisting that we should get Ollie Watkins. And I was like, I'm not sure about Ollie Watkins. And I'm so glad in retrospect that we got Rodrigo instead. And just that play is the type of vision and just like cut above in quality and class that I think we would not have with someone like Watkins. And yeah, the finish by Rafinha is perfect. What you would expect from a player of his caliber, but I give it to a Rodrigo with that vision. I mean, watching on TV, I didn't see that pass there, and he saw it.
Yeah, definitely. And McAllister, I think props need to go to Gianni as well, Gianni Alioski, because he was the one that nicked it, I think, away from Murphy, that set off Bamford, who then obviously passed it to Rodrigo. But props to Alioski with the press, right?
I'll give props to Alioski for that. And then for the rest of the game, he had my heart on a string, just flinging it around the room constantly. Going, I was going to make a challenge. No, I've missed. All right, run back. Okay, headbutt Meslier. Yeah, it was a brilliant move. And just, did any of you know about why they changed the socks? Because it clashed with the kit. And it was just awesome to watch those white socks just running as fast as they could up that pitch. And I thought, go on, lads. But a great goal, a great settle, and that's what we're looking for out of that, partnership. The sort of power couple that is Rodrigo and Rafinha, and hopefully they'll produce more like that in the future.
I love that power couple. I love that analogy. Yeah, I was going to say like Posh and Bex, but I don't think that really works in a Leeds United perspective, does it?
I mean, is one of them pretty than the other? They're both quite good-looking blokes, aren't they?
You know what, though? You bang on the money there, McAllister, because how many times did we see yesterday, Aaron, that ball get fed into Rodrigo, he would drop his shoulder, turn, and bang, straight up to Rafinha. It's like they have this telepathy, or it's just something they work on through the week. He knows in his head, Rodrigo, once I get this ball and turn, Rafinha's going to be available. It's fast.
Yeah, it's brilliant to watch. And that Pasco move straight and just turn from defence into attack straight away. It's brilliant. Typical Bielsa ball at its best. But I have to say, Harrison's goal yesterday was, I know the first goal for Rafinha was brilliant, but I think the way Harrison took control of it and bang straight into that bottom corner was brilliant. Really, really well taken goal. Under the pressure as well, because we obviously just conceded as well. So, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, Rhiannon, the second goal, obviously, it's a lovely little, again, Rafinha involved, little dink over the back. And I thought it was offside because we're watching, we can't have the sound on doing the watch along. Harrison didn't really react. So I'm like, how has he managed to be in that much space and not be offside, if you know what I mean? So I just assumed it was offside, but it was a great finish, wasn't it?
It really was. And I thought, I thought quite similar to you. Like, when he was just been like, he kind of just went like that. And I was like, is this a bit of arrogance coming through? Like thinking, I'll do this every week kind of thing. Because I was thinking, is he offside? Like I had to look down at the bottom to make sure there was a 2 there. Before oh God, don't tell me offside.
He was doing the COVID celebration. That's what he was doing.
That's it though. Like, you're not allowed to properly celebrate, are you now, because of COVID? just thought, well, they threw caution to the wind, didn't they, with all their hugging anyway?
Yeah. Harrison tried his best. He went,
Yeah.
"No, I don't want the attention. Just leave me alone."
It was some finish though, to be fair, and thankfully, we win the game. And like you say, I think for me the most important thing after that was just getting 3 points. The fact that we'd gone 3 games without winning, without scoring. We just needed to get on the score sheet and get away from St James's Park with 3 points. Has anyone else got any other key call-outs from the fixture itself that they'd like to chat about?
I mean, there was Dallas, wasn't there? I've seen there's a bit of criticism over Dallas being in midfield. I mean, I know he may have not took on his man as much as we would have liked to, but I didn't think he played as bad as others on the pitch.
No, I thought he was good.
I thought he did all right, but I've seen a lot of stick on Twitter, and I'm just like, give that guy a rest. Like, he's a machine.
Yeah.
Did people not see the ball he sprayed?
I just love that.
Yeah.
Did people not see the ball he sprayed across the Harrison where he fluffed it?
Yeah,
I mean, that was Stuart Dallas. That was, you know what I mean? That was amazing. I think he ran his socks off again.
Yeah, and I think people get bogged down. He's not a midfielder. We just want a midfielder. Please buy a midfielder. Maybe that's putting the blinkers on. But I thought yesterday, yes, I was surprised to see Mateus Click not start. But I thought Stuart Dallas did a good job in there. What were your guys' thoughts on Click getting dropped then?
I thought it was just fitness more than anything. I think he just needed a rest. The guy has played, God, how many games has he played over 2 years? And
he's only missed 2.
One for a hangover, and we'll let him have that, I think, he needed a rest of the guy. Yeah, they've had 10 days off, but the intensity that we play, he needed a bit of a break. But I expect to see him back for Leicester.
Yeah. Would you expect him straight back in as well, John?
Yeah, he'll start against Leicester. But going forward for the rest of the season, I do think I want to see more Jamie Shackleton playing in the midfield. And I think after yesterday, I'm okay with Dallas playing more and, Alioski keeping his place more than I expected to on left back. I do think ideally Dallas is at left back. But if it's a situation where Click's on the bench, I think that we can get away with Dallas and Shackleton as could be a very solid midfield partnership. I don't know if it's happened once yet, but I think it could work. But Dallas, just what growth from that man. I mean, it's also been talking about it nauseum, but he was so bang average for the first couple of seasons as a winger. And now he's like the first name on the team sheet or second. Just like all the respect in the world to Dallas. Agree that Twitter was crazy. They were wilding. He was one of the best players, if not man of the match, but up there. Dallas.
Yeah. I've not seen any negative comments towards him yet, so I've not seen that. But I know I do think he was pretty good yesterday. I thought we rated him an 8. I thought he had one of his better games in the middle of the park anyway. But like you say, I think next time out we might see him at left back, Ayling at right back. What did you make to Luke Ayling? Obviously, McAllister in the first half, some decent combinations on that right hand side. As good as he is at centre back, I just want him back at right back, and we've seen that yesterday. And I thought he had a good game.
I just think, exactly the same as you, mate. The fact that when he's at right back, he's got that awesome link-up play with Rafinha as well, and then all the attack seems to drive either through Ayling up to Rafinha or it's through Alioski up to Harrison. That middle of the park is a defensive area, basically, isn't it? So I just think, it was great. And Ayling can make a few mistakes now and again, and I think he is a little bit lapsadaisical at centre-back, possibly. But other than that, our best all-round defender, to be honest, and for what we paid for him, man, is incredible.
Yeah, it comes back to that all the time, doesn't it? Just how much we've paid for these players.
Value for money, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And then, and how much, Bielsa's, changed some of their games, and now they're worth, 5-10 times more than what we originally paid for them. It's exceptional. John, did you have anything you wanted to add on yesterday's game?
Just like how beautiful it is that we can win a game where we're not at our best. Like, I feel like what's required for us to get 3 points over the years, like, we don't just have to be at our best. We have to get lucky. The referee has to not get in our way. Like, just, it seems like there's so many layers of obstacles we need to overcome. And so the fact that we can just, like the Burnley game as well, like give a 7 out of 10 team performance and come up with 3 points in the Premier League, that is as encouraging a sign as could possibly exist. So yeah, if anything, like it's more encouraging that we won looking ugly than it's concerning.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. That's what I'm saying. I think had we have lost yesterday or dropped points based on the performance, I'd be worried. But the fact that I don't care for the performance, the fact that we got 3 points, do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. We're in a points business at the end of the day. Watching your football team, you just want to see them put points on the board. Yes, we want to play attractive football. Yes, that's what we're used to. Had we have dropped points yesterday, we might have looked at it and said, look, the performances just aren't there. But we won. So there's nothing really much we can moan about, is there, to be fair? And we know that performances will get better. People will play themselves back into form, as always is the case under Bielsa. And hopefully that starts on Sunday when Bamford gets himself back on the score sheet against Leicester. Because let's not forget, he missed a sitter just prior to them scoring in that first game. And if he scores that, then maybe it's a different game. I'm not saying we still would have got out because Leicester were brilliant, I thought, on the day, but we just need to be more clinical, and that might happen on Sunday. But, John, you wanted to talk to us about the 49ers. Obviously, news this week that they've increased their investment. We've not had an opportunity to speak to someone from across the pond that might have a little bit of knowledge about them. So take it away, my man.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. So, first of all, I think I just want to set up the contrast with some of the other owners from the States that have taken hold in the British game. So you have the guy Cranky in Arsenal, and then the Blazers and Man United. And what you see with both of them is that they don't really have a plan of any sort. Like they just kind of have money, and they're just like plutocrats who have just dominated the economy in their entire lives in the States. They've never had to really work hard and build something. And what you see with the 49ers management, I'm blanking on the name of the family right now, but it's the exact opposite. You have a team that since the 70s, they've owned the Niners since the 70s. They've really built something impressive there. And there are a few things that I'd like to pinpoint to just show how good the organization is. The first is, I don't know if any of you have heard of a quarterback by the name of Joe Montana. Does that name mean anything to anyone here? Joe Montana. Beyond yeah. I'm not, American football is not important. Don't worry about it. The lesson here is that he was the star, not just of the franchise, but of the whole league for a full decade in the 80s into the early 90s. And as he was getting older, the question was, do we ride with Joe Montana as the 49ers, or do we start planning for the future? And they prioritized, went out drafting a replacement for him. And then even when Montana was still doing decently well, they played the new guy, Steve Young. And then sure enough, within his second year, he won a Super Bowl. So what that shows was a willingness, A, to do something potentially unpopular, but B, more important than that, to really plan ahead for the long-term sustainability of a successful franchise. And that is just so the opposite of what the Arsenal guy would ever consider doing. And it's just the type of mentality that's really encouraging. The other thing that I'd like to highlight is just how the American football game works, which is unlike some other American sports like baseball, for example, with the Henry ownership group, where you can just throw money at a team. The NFL, American football, actually has a salary cap and then revenue sharing. So you can't just out-muscle your competition with economics. You actually have to have a strategy, and you actually have to know the game. And the 49ers have maintained competitiveness for effectively 35 years in this climate. Something that's particularly impressive because a big market like San Francisco, where they are, they have to actually share their revenue with other teams. So the fact that I don't think it is a healthy way to go for Leeds to just get some Qatari billionaire who's just going to toss all the money. I think you can look at other teams that have just bought a lot of players and it doesn't necessarily work out. And so I'm really encouraged that the 49ers organization is one that goes the other approach, that actually tries to build something. And if we can keep Bielsa around, I think that there's just nothing but greatness ahead of us. And it's just a really encouraging sign to see investment from them.
Oh, great, man. Great. That's nice to hear you talk. We've got a few people in the chat actually mentioning Joe Montana is a legend, one of the GOATs, apparently. But I don't watch American football. It's glorified rugby, I think, maybe. And they throw it that way. Throw it that way instead of that way. I don't know. Although it is getting quite big in England, to be fair now. I think a lot of my friends watch it and that, to be fair, and Super Bowl and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a load of tosh to me. I'll stick to watching football. But guys,
like I don't know how much they're actually going to be involved with the business and the football element, or if it's just money. I mean, it's possible everything I've just said is meaningless, and all they're really doing is throwing money at it. But I do think that there's value in looking at the organization and what they've done over the decades.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you are right. I think it does seem to be long term that maybe they will take charge. I don't know if everyone agrees with that. I'm not sure. I think Radrazan is looking to get his hands in all sorts of pies and own loads of football clubs by the sound of it. I don't know if we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's really exciting. McAllister, what were your thoughts? Obviously, seen some fresh investment from the 49ers.
You know what? It's exciting, to be honest, and it feels like a bit of a relief to know we're not just now relying on one man to put the club up the whole time.
Yeah.
I listened to the interview Leeds put out and a couple of other articles, and they sound genuine and they sound like they don't want to do too much at once, and they want to create a sustainable plan, like what John's saying, and to push the club and push the brand. I mean, I don't want to become Arsenal, football brand, not football club. Sorry, that's what it is. But it's only a good thing at the moment, and obviously I agree with us not being taken over by PSG because they've had a bit of grief at the minute in the courts and things like that, and things flying around there that aren't too great at the moment. So I think Andrea knows the best with the business. Bielsa knows the best with the football. I'm just happy that we've got both of them, and I want to keep both of them, and that's how we're going to succeed in the end.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree completely, McAllister. So what were your thoughts, Aaron, on the fact that the 49ers have increased the investment? It's been a great week for Leeds, to be fair.
Yeah, it's positive, isn't it? I think, obviously, when we sustain our position in the Premier League, I think having them on board from a commercial side, I think is really beneficial, especially taking the Leeds United Football Club around the world, especially over to in America. So they want to tap into that, obviously, with John being over there. And obviously, I think the Ellen Road development as well, I think that's been mentioned quite a lot on Twitter and things, hasn't it? Maybe looking at potentially redeveloping the West Stand and really uplifting, getting Wi-Fi in, because we do need Wi-Fi in at Ellen Road when we can get back there. So yeah, I think just having them on board from a commercial side, I think it's going to be really beneficial for us. I think it's win-win all round, really, and hopefully they'll bring a bit of cash in and really spend it in the summer.
Yeah, maybe a pitch. Can they plant grass?
Did they bought the new turf for us, didn't they? From Spurs.
From Spurs, yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, 300k. It's all been laid now, which I'm quite excited to see how it plays, to be fair, because we were doing our stream yesterday, and the Newcastle pitch looked so nice compared to what we've been playing on the last few weeks.
Is the pitch that they've bought the actual NFL one, which was at Spurs?
I think
they've been growing it. They grow it somewhere else, don't they? They've been, so it wasn't actually
under the stadium or something. I don't know. I've seen the documentary of it's been built.
Yeah, so I think this gets grown in a different location. Like, it's not just there, ready to. It's grown, and obviously, and then they must move it in parts. I think I was listening to the Square Ball the other morning. I think it's in Nottingham somewhere. I think where they've got it from.
Don't ask me.
Hey,
don't ask me.
No. I think it's Spurs' pitch for when the NFL and they would switch it in and out kind of thing, but it's been grown somewhere else, and they've said, all right, okay, you can have this. It's madness, really, that you can buy a pitch. It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely.
It really is.
Yeah, that's it. John H. says it's grown in Nottinghamshire. I do believe that's the case, and then they've moved it up. But, again, like I said here, go on, Rhiannon.
No, I was going to say, when you mentioned about Newcastle's pitch being, really nice, I swear I saw some Newcastle fans moaning about the state of the pitch.
Yeah, I'd heard it as well. I heard it on a post-match saying, they were kicking off about the pitch. Yeah, it was. It was lush. It was a good surface.
Compared to what ours used to look like.
Yeah.
I mean, but they have not got a lot to be happy about at the minute when they've got Steve Sprout in charge as well.
Yeah.
So it's...
it's a good point. But let's think. What are your a bit of a final final thoughts then on Newcastle and what we think, points wise we can get from Leicester at the weekend. I'll start with you, McAllister.
Leicester. Well, I'll say my final point on Newcastle first. A hard-fought game, and it felt a lot like the comeback from when we lost to Forest last season, and we come and drew against Brentford the next game. Yeah. Except this time we won. So I feel good omens going forwards. I think the defensive situation is what it is. I think Strike will do a decent enough job with Coops. And Leicester at the weekend, you know what? I'm going to go 1-0 Leeds.
Love that. Optimism. John?
Yeah. Again, I think that we need to take the value out of ugly wins. Like, I don't want to see fans moaning after every ugly win. I think ugly wins are a beautiful thing. Shouldn't be every win. I certainly don't want to become Sam Allardyce team, but so long as it's necessary, especially on the road, I'm cool with it, and I'm happy that we proved we can do it. As far as the next two games, I actually agree with McAllister. I think we can get a result against Leicester. I wouldn't put money on it, but I mean, Leicester, they've kind of overachieved a little bit. I mean, they're great. Brendan Rodgers is one of the best managers in Britain without question. They're all 11 starters are phenomenal, but they're beatable. And I think we're better than Everton. As a team, Everton have better talent, but as a team, we are a better team than Everton. I think the game at Goodison Park showed that. We were the better team for the majority of that game. So I think we could get 4 points, could even get 6 points.
Oh, well, that'd be lush, wouldn't it? Then my thoughts of us getting Europe would still be a reality, man. We can still do it.
This is my target. I want to finish ahead of Aston Villa this year. That's what I want our vision to be.
Well, they've just lost. They've just lost 3-2 to Burnley. So there you go.
Really?
Yeah, 3-2.
You just got diced.
Yeah, just been diced. Yeah, exactly. They were 2-1 up, and then Burnley scored in the 76th and 79th, so to make it 3-2.
Chris Wood get one?
Huh?
Chris Wood, did he get one?
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, he did. He got the winner. Yeah, nice. Rhiannon, last thought on Newcastle and thoughts ahead of Leicester.
Well, Newcastle are definitely going to be in the mix, aren't they, for relegation, especially if they keep with Steve Bruce. But with the way the Newcastle fans are, I can't. Well, it's like you think he wouldn't last long, but you never know with Mike Ashley. So he might be here to the end of the season. I think I'll be a bit more optimistic. I'll say 1-1 against Leicester.
The boys have gone for wins, and they've made you feel optimistic, but you're still going for a draw. Yeah. Take a point.
I'd agree with you, Ryan. I'd go for a draw as well, really. I'd take a 0-0, they're a decent team, these, so I'd take a draw as well.
Cool. Well, I'm going 2-1 Leeds United. We're going to win. We've got to win. You've always got to back the boys, yeah. But listen, if we get anything from the game, it's a bonus. Let's be honest, yeah. If we, speaking with the heads, like they're a brilliant football team. You've got a great manager, got some fantastic players. The likes of Tielemans, Maddison. Maddison's on fire at the minute as well. So it's going to be tough, very, very tough, and we can't afford to not have a midfield, which we haven't had in the last couple of games, because they will just outrun us. We'll be overrunning there, and they'll just create so many chances, and we could be on the other end of a pasting if we're not careful. So we need to make sure we're on it, and that's the difference, isn't it? When you've just come up, our players on an individual level have to be at the top of their game in order for us to get good results, like they were against City. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? If they're nowhere near it, then unfortunately we'll be on the end of a spanking, and unless they've got some great players, so we'll have to wait and see. But guys, thank you so much for being the guinea pigs on tonight's show on the post-match fans chat. Love to have you back as well. So if you're free on Monday, if you would like to come back on, then of course we would like you to do so. But thank you so much for tuning in as always. Everyone, please smash a like on the video. Make sure you check out Aaron as well on LS11. Believe you'll be doing a live tomorrow night. Aaron,
tomorrow night, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Any news, LS11 will be all back, and the podcast for LS11 with the three boys, with Darren, Ben, and Ryan was out today, so it was good listening to that this morning.
Yeah, good.
Can I? Sorry. Go on, I was just going to say, can I give a shout out quickly?
Of course you can, man.
My dad's constantly barraging me in the chat, saying, "Give me a shout out."
Where is he?
It's Irene Bishop. That's my stepmom's name.
Oh,
But
right, okay.
Shout out Lee Bishop for naming me after Gary McAllister. True legend. Cheers, Dad.
Oh, so is that? I didn't click onto that. I genuinely didn't click onto that. That's absolutely amazing. Is that why you're named after the man himself?
It is.
Yeah, get in there. Lee Bishop, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've seen Irene Bishop mentioned a few times. You must watch us, right? You must watch us.
He was messaging me the whole time going, "Yo, how do I get it on?" And I'm like, "Dad, I'm on the live stream now. I can't text you back." But yeah, anyway, thank you.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get your dad on next time as well.
That's a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah, man, make it happen. But big shout out, thanks for watching, Lee. Thanks for the support, mate. And what a name for McAllister, so class. Anyone else want to give any shout outs while we're at it?
I will. I just want to shout out you, Joe, and everybody else at All Leeds TV, not only for 2.5 seasons of incredible content, like on a damn near very reliable basis, but you guys are never asking us for money. So allow me to do it for you. Friends, throw a super chat to our people. Every other YouTuber, they're constantly throw us a super chat. You never ask for money, which I love. But folks should maybe throw them some love. It costs money to subscribe to StreamYard to get good mics. All this stuff costs money. So.
Oh, big shout out, John. You don't need to give us money.
I'm sure Asim
will. We're gonna bring on John regularly. Just wheel him out to go give money, and then we'll. But no, thank you, honestly, class as always. Any more shout outs, Rhiannon? No, for your partner.
I saw her in the chat. He says hi, Rihanna. I was like, hi.
Great, man. Great laugh as always. Great to have you on. Thank you so much for your support, though. Like I say, if you watch it, then that's all that matters, man. 'Cause, you know, we're just Leeds fans talking to Leeds fans, and that's what we want to do. So if you want to get involved like these people have, please let us know, and we'll have. We'll have these guys back as well, man. Of course we will. And tomorrow we've got Locks and Craig on from Leicester City Fan TV. That I think is on at 6 o'clock off the top of my head. We'll be doing an opposition preview. Fridays before the whistle blows. Saturday we're going to do a big match preview. And then Sunday is the game itself. So keep it locked to All Leeds TV as per. I'm going to end the stream now, so we'll do that awkward.